Welcome to the Scars Busch series, presented by Ineptitude.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Scars Busch League, our Sunday night Busch Xfinity Series season. Tonight we're at North Wilkesboro Speedway for the North by North Wilkes 150. Going to be a really good race tonight, I believe. Qualifying is underway now. We're going to see what these guys can do as far as putting down quick lap time, see who can get out front. You know, this is going to be a fun race. North Wilkesboro is a lot of fun. It's a tough track. Xfinity car and this track seem to go together really well. So I am really pumped to see how these guys tackle this and see how good the race is going to be tonight. All season long, it's been a fantastic race. Fantastic races, even at tracks I didn't think would be. So I don't think tonight would be any different. As you see the race info there, we'll go ahead and pull up the schedule and see what that looks like, just to kind of see where we're headed and where we're going. And this is our 6th race of the season. We are on the home stretch now as we get closer and closer to the end of the season. We're hitting that back half, the back 9, and with only 5 races to go, the championship looks pretty tight. I'll probably get the standings started next week to have those updated on the screen. But as of right now, Lee Dawson is still in the lead with a pretty good points lead so far. Drop weeks will start taking effect after the Daytona race. So should be a good shakeup and should be an interesting fight towards the end of the season. But yeah, tonight's going to be really fun. We're getting ready to grid up now, so we're going to jump right into stuff. We're going to get this schedule off the screen, and we're going to jump right into Lee's keys for tonight. Every week we have our points leader, Lee Dawson, give us some keys to the race, and 3 things that he thinks is going to be really important to be successful tonight. So we'll jump right into those. The first key is a late apex. With the way this car is going to go, the car rolls pretty good on new tires. On old tires, though, it is a little bit difficult to keep it on the bottom. So it's going to be important that you wait as the turns are really long and get kind of go in, drift up a little bit, and wait and exit late, because the way these turns, you come off these turns, it can really push you to the wall. So make sure you get that late apex, so you get the speed down the straightaways. There's not much straightaways, so you have to be quick about it. So any speed you can get is important. The second key is don't go too low. Same idea. The bottom is pretty fast. You can get down there and make a lot of speed through the middle of the corner. The only problem is coming off the corner, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to keep that car from pushing out, but you also don't want to hit that apron. Don't want to hit there's some raised apron in both turns that you'll bounce up. The car will bounce. You might hit the grass, spin out. So it's important that you stay off of those curbs. It's going to be really important. And the last key is be prepared for long runs. Most of the races that we've had here have gone green for the distance, if not just one caution. So really important that you be aware of that. You know, saving tires is always something that people always mention, and it's a good thing to do. However, with 150 laps, it's a pretty long race. It's going to go by quick, though, being such a short track. We're looking at 18, 19 second lap time, so it'll go by quick. So you got to be prepared. You got to make your moves. You got to be in position, and you got to be able to get in pit road if there is a green flag pit stop, and make up as much time as you can. Because it is easy to go a lap down with about any kind of mistake. So let's jump right into the grid real quick. See if we can get this done before they go green. This thing is not helping me out here. Lord have mercy. All right, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Technical difficulties right from the get-go. Love it. Steve McDonald on the pole. Lee Dawson second. Sean Pauley third. Justin Diaz fourth. Jonah Colbert fifth. Alan Smith starting sixth. What a great effort by him. Scott Sindel seventh. Jason Raychalk surprisingly starting eighth. I am not ninth. I am in the booth tonight. John Honecker 10th. James Stanford 11th. Kevin LaPerriere 12th. And we are getting ready to go racing. As we turn off this music, we want to hear the cars. We want to get this grid off the screen. And we go green side by side for the lead as we go down to the turn one. Justin Diaz has to get out of it a little bit as we're side by side. Steve McDonald, Lee Dawson for the lead. Nobody willing to give it up. Lee Dawson drives it deep into the corner. He's going to be able to hold it off as Steve fights back off the corner, but Lee is able to clear him, and he takes the lead as he leads the first lap of the race. 1 of 150, so already a shakeup. Really good drive, good start for Lee getting out front. He has already kind of gapped it by half a second at this point, so we start to see who is going to make a charge towards the front. A lot of fast cars in the back that I expect to see move up to the front. John Honecker, Jason Raychalk. Jason Raychalk won 2 in a row so far, so we are looking to see what he's going to do tonight. He's been really smart, a really, really good driver that has made a lot of really good race decisions as he has not run up front the whole time in both races, but is there when it counts and is able to take those victories. As Justin Diaz goes around, Sean Pauley as well, and we are under caution. First caution of the race on lap 5. Let's see if we can go back and see what happened as go down to the corner. And both of them synchronized spinning. Wow, that's impressive. Both of them right off the corner. Just a little bit too much throttle off the turns with these little bit colder tires, just trying to make moves, and the car just steps out on them. But no harm, no foul. I said that last week. I'm going to stop saying that catchphrase as we try to move on from those silly things. And you will see that they're headed down pit road right now, getting either a repair or fast repair, just depending on how bad the damage is. Justin may assess. I don't think Sean's was too bad. He might can stay out. But Justin's going to come in, get some tires at least, and get a repair. And it looks like, yeah, he is going to try to just repair that car up a little bit. It wasn't too bad. And try to get save that fast repair for later in the race, which might be a smart move. But under caution, nothing really, no accident between drivers, just a couple drivers getting loose. But definitely can be expected at this track. The first key of the race was getting a late apex, and that's what you want to do to make sure that car stays as straight as possible. Because if you come off low, if you're not straight coming off this corner, either one of them, the back end will loop around on you. So good learning experience there early in the race, only on lap 5. It's a good time to do it for sure. With only about 12 cars in the field, it's not too detrimental. You'll be able to move back up through the field and make some ground up. So Lee Dawson still in the lead as we are pacing under caution for the North by North Wilkes 150. we looks like we're going to get the one to go here. Get this race back underway, see if we can get our feet up under us. That was a really fast caution. And you know what else is fast? Xfinity Wi-Fi. All right, Lee got a really good start last time. Was able to use that outside line. Let's see if Steve is able to do the same thing. Lee controls the restart. He gets a good jump. Steve really lagging behind. Just not even close to being side by side with Lee, not even giving himself a chance. But Lee gets a great start as we start to see, as we see Scott Sindel get a little bit loose. Oh, and he spins out again, locks him up, and we're under caution again. Another issue of just being on the bottom with somebody on your outside, trying to make sure that you get the gas down, but just see how loose he gets on that bottom. Really good job of saving it. We are under caution again on lap 11. 150 laps. These guys are going to have to make sure that they understand that we have 150 laps. Need to just take it easy. Don't push too hard too soon, because nothing eats up tires like spinning out. So hopefully these guys can calm down a little bit. Scott Sindel did a great job of locking it down, not hitting the inside wall, so he doesn't have any damage. That Rainbow Warrior DuPont car looks really, really good. So good job by him. As we catch up, back up to our leaders. See that Jonah Colbert was able to get around Steve McDonald for second place. Alan Smith having a great run so far. He's up 3 spots up to 4th place. John Honecker and Jason Raychok both moving up a few spots, so I believe this front 5 is going to be extremely competitive pretty quickly if we can get some green flag laps in. And I think there's a lot of drivers back there who also can make some moves. Might have some new tires. I don't know. So far, the only people who pitted is Sean Pauley and Justin Diaz. I think Kevin Perrier came in too, but I think he just came in real quick. I believe we're running 4 sets of tires now. I don't know how the server exactly. It's usually 3 or 4, so usually have 2 tire changes or 3. Usually on short tracks, you don't use that much tire, not as much as you think you do. So it's worth it to stay out, save that track position, and save those tires for the end of the race. Pace car getting ready to duck off for our second restart of the race. Lee Dawson getting a great start last time. Let's see if he can continue that trend and get a good start, beating Jonah Colbert to the first turn, which will be really important. He does. He gets a great start. Jonah not lagging back too bad, but Lee getting a really good start. Is Steve is going to be able to get a nose up under Jonah as they come off of turn 2. Lee Dawson with a pretty good lead there as we watch the battle for second place as Alan Smith dives it down into the corner. Able to make it stick, though. He's only outside of John Honecker as John Honecker's trying to make his way up to the top 4. That hotline is probably pretty quick. You can make some work with it. You just got to be careful. It's a lot of finesse. Bottom line's a little bit more guaranteed speed. So we see a lot of guys working that bottom, staying right there. And I think as the tires are new, I think that's where you want to be. As those tires wear out, it's going to be harder and harder to get those front tires to turn, and I think you'll start moving up the track, trying to get a better entry to get a better runoff. Alan Smith's still trying to use that outside line. The only problem with that is how bad it eats up the right front, so you really have to be careful. While the bottom, it'll be tougher and tougher as the run goes on. Running that outside line puts a lot of pressure on that right front. Getting single filed here. Looks like everybody is starting to, as Alan Smith gets a little bit loose. Doing some lawn care through the bottom of the track. We stay green though. Good save. Everybody's doing a great job of saving the car. Tough luck for him. Was having such a good run. Started up towards the front. Just gets loose, but plenty of time to make it up as he's still working that high line, trying to make that work. Move into battle for third place. We have battle between John Honecker and Steve McDonald. As John is up 6 spots, started 10th. He's trying to work his way up towards the front, try to challenge Lee Dawson for his lead. So trying to find a way. Seems to be a little bit faster than Steve at the moment, but can be tough to pass here as you're trying to find a way, because it's tough because a lot of times you make your passes off the corner and there's really not another groove off the corner other than coming right off the bottom to get the best run off the corner. So you have to try to find a little bit of speed in the entry and middle to be able to get by somebody. You might even duck up to the outside and try to keep them from being able to go out to the wall. That might be a way of making a pass. We'll see how John decides to do it. As Lee's really set sail at this point. Has a really nice gap over. Oh, we see Brandon Dittmer gets loose. Oh, and then kind of a cluster on the back straightaway as Dittmer gets loose and collects Jason Raychalk. As he's trying to get that run off the corner. And oh man, just gets that car bound up off the turn, and Kevin LePerrier just drives straight into him. So a lot of cars involved there. As we see our leader going down pit road, and outside of Justin Diaz, very, very lonely. The only driver in our top 5 who decided to make their way down pit road. Of course, those involved in the accident, Kevin LePerrier, Brandon Dittmer, and Jason Raychalk are in, as they are, if they're damaged enough, probably getting that fast repair. Obviously, tires, they slid them. It's a good time to pit, maybe right now anyway, just depending on how you were doing in the race. So our leader coming down pit road. Electing to come get tires, and everybody else kind of hung him out to dry. So we'll keep an eye on him as we watch if he's able to get back to the front. Our new leader, Jonah Colbert, in the JC Motorsports car, number 31 Ford Mustang. Had a nice run so far, started 5th. He's up 4 positions now. But this, Lee really had a lot of space out there, and the top 3 here right now, we're really nose to tail. So it'll be fun to watch these guys start to battle it out for the lead as we are under our 3rd caution on lap 30. About a 5th of the way through the race, math. vents on the pace car are off. As we are getting ready to come to our 4th restart of the race. As Jonah Colbert catches Steve McDonald sleeping. Steve is just having a tough time on the restart, just hanging so far back. He is giving up so many positions on the restart. But John Honaker able to get by as well as Jonah sails off into the lead. But John Honaker right there behind him, getting ready to run him down as Jonah kind of bounces off the apron there a little bit. Have to be careful about that. As we got a battle for 4th place. It's a little like James Stanford and Sean Pauly have a little bit of contact. As we see Lee Dawson getting his nose up in there, trying to make those fresh tires work. You get about 10 laps of that good on those tires, and you have to get as much as you can, and he is definitely doing that. Let's go on board with him as we watch Lee Dawson try to make up this ground, and it's not too far back. He's in 5th place, so he's already made up a few spots as he is under Sean Pauly. Sean Pauly gonna let him go as you see how easy he is to the middle, letting it roll, not giving it too much brake, not too much throttle, just allowing the car to roll. You have to slide up the car a little bit in the entry just to keep that speed up. You can tell right through the entry in the middle, he's making up a lot of time on Steve McDonald. And those new tires really showing off as Lee is absolutely our fastest car on the track by a few tenths. Good 3 tenths faster than our leaders, so he is making up a little bit of time. But he slides the car really hard going in that corner, obviously driving really hard, trying to make that time up, get back up to the lead. If we have a long run, don't want to be spending a whole lot of time trying to pass cars, because your tires will equal out really soon, and he'll lose all the advantage of making that pit stop. So we go back here and watch the battle between Justin Diaz, Sean Pauly, James Stanford for 6th place. Justin Diaz on those new tires, he has made it past Sean. See Justin there with quite a bit of front end damage. The Camaro is all squished up. Looks like that middle row. As he is up to 5th place. See James Stanford back here getting loose off the corner, trying to make some speed, but that grip off the turn just is not there sometimes, especially if you see it. He does it again. He's got that right rear pretty heated up, and you just see you have to be careful. You have to wait on that throttle. One of the Lee's keys was be patient. Get on throttle too soon, and before you hit that, and you're on the throttle before you hit the transition and the pavement to the straightaway, it can really unload the car and make it super loose. We've seen quite a few guys have that issue already. As we see Lee Dawson is able to get around Steve McDonald for 3rd place. As he tries to track down our leaders, Jonah Colbert. About a 2 tenths lead over John Honaker. You see Lee is really giving it all she's got. See that car moving quite a bit. We check in on Jason Raychalk. Last week's winner of 2 in a row. I like to highlight some of our newer folks. Really impressive, Jason Raychalk. Shown a lot of speed, but also he's a very respectful driver. Has been really patient with folks. Seeing he's sort of in the back. One of the faster drivers, most likely on the track. He's got some damage he may have fixed, so his car may not be 100%. But we saw this a couple weeks ago, where he was just very, very patient and didn't really talk about him much until the end in Atlanta, and he just came roaring through the field as he's getting a little bit loose off the turn there. But been a really respectful, really nice guy. Glad to have him part of the league. Hope he's enjoying himself. Hopefully he can get up there and start to battle for try to win 3 in a row. Damage may be hurting him pretty bad. as he seems to be struggling. He was one of the faster cars in practice, so we'll keep an eye on that and see if he's able to figure something out as we head back up here towards the front at least. Oh yeah, well, let's go up here as Lee Dawson is all over the back bumper of John Honaker as he tries to get back to his oh wow, it's such a great run on those new tires to be able to get off the corner. Got off so much better than John did and was able to get the run down the straightaway and get the nose under. Very clean pass, very respectful by John Honaker, giving him a lot of room. Knowing he's on fast tires, there's no reason to try to race him that hard. You know, he is playing sort of a different strategy at this point than these guys. They want him to burn those tires up as much as possible, but they still have a setup on him. So he's got to hope there's a long green flag run where his tires really make a difference. And he puts a lot of time on these guys. And if not, he's going to be down a set of tires for the rest of the race. You know, he was able to drive up through the field pretty quickly, but as he's gotten up here, it's already starting to equalize quite a bit. He's a little bit faster. He's about a tenth faster a lap. Well, let's watch it this time around and see what it's going to be. And this time around, he was about a tenth faster that lap, so he is making up a good bit of ground. 10th a lap, it's pretty good. So he should catch Jonah without much issue. We'll see if Jonah decides to fight him or just let him go. I don't think clean air is going to be that important here, because we're very little time on the straightaway. Aero is probably not that important. About 2/10 faster that lap as he's made up quite a bit of time as he's closing right in on the back bumper. Let's go on board with Lee Dawson, see what he's doing, see where he's gaining. You see he's gaining so much time in the entry of the corner, so much through the middle. Oh, is Scott Sindel is, oh my goodness, Jonah Colbert. We have Scott Sindel crashed on the track. Just gets up out of the groove off the corner and just the same type of thing. Just gets a little bit loose and gets at it. You know, he starts backing up. No wonder Jonah got on the brakes. Good job, everybody else just backing it down, and we're under caution. He just slowed down anyway, and everybody gets by without any other issue. So tough night for Scott so far. A couple spins. He's trying to get the back end up under him. Let's go back live and see what the Oh, yeah, while I was running my mouth, we had pit stops. Sorry about that. Checking out the accident. But it looks like Brandon Dittmer decides to stay out on old tires. You know, I don't, you know, if you want to save a set, it may not be a bad idea. He's gonna be in a world of hurt with pretty much the rest of the field behind him is on new tires. So everybody's gonna have to be careful. He's gonna be quite a bit slower. He pitted last on lap 27. We're on lap 55, 58 now. So that's a lot of time on this. 28 laps on tires, that's enough. So Lee has already used his second set of tires, I believe. So it really worked out for the guys who stayed out last time, because really neutralized Lee's pit strategy. It's going to put him behind if we have a few more cautions where he is going to be out of tires. So we are getting ready to go green with our leader, Brandon Dittmer. Getting him a lap led. Let's see, maybe he knows something we don't know, and he might be able to get a good enough jump and get out there and make work of those older tires. Pace car comes down pit road. And Brandon just not getting a good enough start. Really either spins his tires, pretty much a full field checkup, trying to get around it. Lee Dawson goes down to the bottom. Donald Corbett looking up at the top. Oh no, and then Brandon Dittmer gets loose off the corner and just slaps Lee Dawson and takes Lee out, makes him, he has to hit the wall. No caution for some reason. There it is. We go back and just see what happened. You see, it just gets loose on those old tires. Got all those guys coming really hard. Gets a little bit loose and just tail slaps Lee. Lee doesn't hit anything. That's great. The right front looks a little bent up. Probably has a little bit of damage. So probably want to come down pit road. He's already behind the field. Might as well come down pit road and get that checked out. Right front damage could be pretty detrimental. Trying to get around these corners. So under our fourth caution, a little bit more cautions than we expected. At least third key was expect long green flag runs. That just hasn't been the case so far, as guys are just having a tough time getting up off the corner with just not being patient enough on the throttle, just trying to get on the throttle too soon. And of course that was the case of somebody was on 30 lap old tires trying to just get going, spun the tires a little bit, almost 3 wide in turn 1, just trying to keep it together, and just gets a little bit loose, and Lee was just in the wrong place, wrong time there. So looks like he elects just to get a little bit of damage repair and get the hammers out, knock that fender off the right front tire. Get back to racing, but he's got a hill to climb now as he comes back down pit road. Looks like he's going to get some more damage fixed. Stay right here. Is this a big development? See if he elects to take a fast repair. Maybe the repairs are too extensive. See what he does here. It's a really great camera view where you can't see anything. Check this right front as he comes around. Yeah, it looks like he's just trying to get a little bit of damage fixed. Make sure he doesn't lose a lap doing it. We'll go up front. Jonah Comer's still our leader. John Honecker looked like I don't know. That was a wild restart, so I think just had a little bit of shuffling there. John looks like he got hit from behind, probably trying to get out of the gas, not run over somebody, and just got tagged from behind himself. Too bad we don't see transfer of paint, so we can't tell who it is. Lights are off on the pace car for our 5th restart, I believe. And lap 66 of 150. Got a long way to go. Not even halfway yet. So Hopefully we can get some green flag runs. Jonah Colbert gets a great restart. Steve McDonald getting a much better restart that time. Last couple have been really rough for him, but he was able to get a great one that time. He's able to take second place. Ball's right in line there as Jonah Colbert gets a great start, gets out in front. We see Alan Smith still doing this top line, trying to get it to work. I mean, it's not working. He's able to stay with folks. No, it looks like it's not working. He has lost a couple positions from guys just running on the bottom. That top side just not able to roll the center, as he's got to be careful. Probably scaring the heck out of guys coming off the corners. He's driving the hell out of it. As he gets a little bit loose, tail slaps the wall. People have to avoid him a little bit. Maybe after that, maybe he'll kind of get it figured out that he needs to stay on the bottom because that top line is not going to work. Let's go back here, watch some of these battles that are going on. There's a bunch of them through this field as we watch the top 6, it looks like, are really nose to tail here as we see Lee Dawson right behind Jason Raychalk. Trying to, yet again, battle his way up through the field after that incident with Brandon Dittmer. See James Danford trying to figure out a way around Steve McDonald as John Honaker all over his back end. James Danford driving deep into the corner, driving on that middle lane, which really seems to work good. These guys are starting to navigate up, trying to guard that outside to make sure someone does. We see Jason Raychalk getting under Justin Diaz. Lee Dawson right behind him. Raychalk able to complete that pass. He's also able to get under as we're 3 wide back here. These guys are racing the wheels off these cars. Lee Dawson charging up through the field, trying to keep Jason Raychalk in his sights as they try to battle up through the field. I wish I knew if they took tires or not. I'm not sure. But they are on the hunt. Taking cars 3 wides trying to make up positions, and they probably see Jonah Colbert, a really small car in the distance, and they know they have to go. Like I said at the beginning, 150 laps sounds like a lot, but at 19 seconds a lap, it's really not. And these laps click away really quick as Lee Dawson gets really loose off the corner. Justin Diaz is going to take advantage of it. We're here to race. You make a mistake, that you lose that position. Justin gets a little bit loose, so Lee's probably going to repay the favor. Fight hard on the high side. Try to get back around Justin. Justin, even with that damage, still able to race. Car seems to be driving really, really good as he takes advantage of that mistake, and Lee is back on his bumper, trying to get back around him. Go back up here, our leader. You see how much of a gap that Jonah Colbert's been able to put on the field as he is working that bottom line. You see a lot of guys who are up on the top side running that middle lane, but that bottom line is fast and it's really, really quick if you can keep from. You see him doing that late apex, able to get a good run off the corner, especially in that turn. You really want to try to hit that apex late. But that turn right there, 3 and 4, you really can kind of. It feels like a normal line. You see him kind of high and then he exits low right there. Get really good speed off that corner, and it is definitely making a difference as he is 1/10 to 2/10 faster than everybody else in the field. As we come to lap 81, or coming to lap 82. Let's go back in the field. Watch some of this battle as Lee Dawson still has not been able to get back around Justin Diaz. Man, what a great racing we're having here as James Danford is starting to get on the back bumper of Lee. Lee just desperately trying to find a way around Justin. Justin driving it really hard in the corner. Lee able to get down, get on his, Lee having flashbacks as Justin Diaz gets a little bit loose off the corner. Justin Diaz really still fighting back, but Lee's able to clear him now. So we got the battle for second place has been about the same the whole since that last restart. Seems like it's really tough to pass. You really have to make a lot of time. John Honaker, what a great move there, is try to get to the outside, get that spotter call. In iRacing, we have automatic spotters, so a real good strategy to try to make a pass on somebody, especially in a league where people are respectful, is to try to dive down in the corner and get to the outside. So they get a spotter call and say, hey, there's a car on the outside, and then the car on the bottom really tries to give you an extra room. You can get a run off the corner, but John trying everything he can to get around Steve, as Steve is fighting hard, racing to keep second place. He's doing a great job so far. John's really struggling to find any way around him. You see John not going away, continuing to fight, put a lot of pressure on Steve, making him really have to defend. Because of that, they're losing quite a bit of time to Jonah as he has pulled out to a 3.5 second lead, still putting down really, really fast lap times, almost 2/10 faster than Steve and John here as they're trying to battle it out. Let's look at the difference in the different drivers. We watched Steve McDonald. See, he's running this second lane up here, and trying to just defend that position. It's really hard to get under somebody here, and is cutting it a little bit there, but mostly running that top line, staying in that sort of dark area. And then we'll go up front and see how Jonah Colbert is doing differently. What he's doing differently, excuse me. As he is definitely entering in, going right down to the bottom, letting it roll, gassing it up. And I think he's just probably gaining just a whole lot of time just rolling through the center like that, as we got somebody off the track. Looks like Alan Smith. As we just see the difference in the two lines. The one that our leader is doing that's pulling away from the field. That you see, he kind of pushes up there and it cuts back down as the track starts to straighten out. Just almost feel like you're almost coming to a stop, but just making that bottom line work and being patient on the throttle. Good line there. You see he's going to cut back down where the track kind of puts back out. Able to get full throttle, get as much speed down these short straightaways. As we go back to the battle for second, we'll watch John Cars. He's trying that same line, trying to let it roll. He is making up a little bit of time, but just right there is where Steve is going to make the difference up on that middle lane, getting the run off the corner. We're finally on a long green flag run, starting to click out some laps. Hopefully it stays this way for a while. John is just not able to, just not fast enough to get around Steve at the moment. Definitely seems to be a little bit faster. It's hard to make a complete pass see he's coming off the bottom like that as your tires start to wear. Just hard to keep that power down off the corner. Steve has a little bit easier time doing it. Well, while we're on the green flag run, let's kind of go through the field a little bit. We are watching this battle, so let's go on back to 4th place, Jason Raychalk. The winner, the last 2 races, like I said, just very quiet. He was kind of running towards the back. You know, looks like he was struggling towards the around 10th or so, but you see he's already back up to 4th place, sneaking into the picture, as he seems to be a really good race manager. But he's race manager or not, he has won the last 2 races, so everybody is really chasing him, trying to break that streak as he's trying to go for 3 in a row. Lee Dawson, who dominated the first little bit of this race, just had, after making that first pit stop and having to drive through the field, gets in an incident with Brandon Dittmer, just kind of gotten stuck here at this point. Definitely has the speed to be up in the lead, just trying to mend his wounds and try to slowly ease his way up towards the front. Justin Diaz looking good with a beat up front end in 6th place. Saw him racing quite a few of the guys that are towards the front now, able to put on a great show. James Danford, the Napa Auto Parts number 8 Camaro. He's up 4 spots where he started. He raced with quite a few guys over in the Explicit League that people were racing on Thursday nights. He gets a little bit loose, and he's been a welcome addition. Sean Pauly fighting with the lap car Brandon Dittmer as he tries to get up under. Looks like he has pancaked the wall a couple times. That right side is sort of pushed in. We saw Kevin LePerrier bulldoze into someone on the front stretch earlier, but looks like his car has been fixed, and that Whataburger car looking good. Running 9th place. Scott Sindel and Alan Smith running the Larson line up here as they fight it out for the top 10 spot. Scott Sindel's been around a few times, but he's still running in the top 10. See Alan Smith just still working that high line. 18 stickers Toyota Supra. See John Honeker's Steve McDonald still battling out. John driving it deep down in the corner, trying to make it work. Steve not going to give it up. We're here to race. John feels like he's faster. He's trying to make the pass work now. Just can't get the tires to grip off the corner as Steve's able to continue to keep him at bay off that high side. Just tough to pass here. You can hear the tires start to spin just a little bit. He's trying to get on the throttle a little bit sooner as we see somebody. Oh, Alan Smith. Gets a little bit loose there, and looks like Steve McDonald had to check up and had to give up that spot. So he loses second to John Honeker after a great battle for second. Check in our leader, see if he's still awake. As he is out 6 seconds from second place. John Honaker is really putting on a clinic. We'll check these lap times as we come across the line here. John Honaker about 2/10 faster than Jonah that last lap. So John seems to be a little bit faster, but, you know, it's hard to really say because Jonah's just so far out in the lead. I mean, 2/10 faster, that's a lot of laps that we don't have, that John doesn't have. So, you know, Jonah's really got a really comfortable lead that he really doesn't have to push as hard as he needs to. That lap, he was over 1/10 faster than John that last lap. So, still the fastest car on the track. As far as saving any tires, he's been the fastest and also saved the best apparently, because he is still in the 19s where everybody else is starting to breach the 22nd lap time. I really think, I mean, if I was going to give an opinion, I really think because he's able to run the bottom like he is, really rolling the corner, where a lot of guys are, you know, we've seen a lot of guys who have had accidents are the ones that are running the top, who are trying to run this weird wall line, and then some guys who are fast but seem to struggle to keep up later, especially to our leader, is running that middle line. So hopefully some of these guys can see that and start making a little bit of changes, because Jonah is just running off this thing. You see that line. Just holding it right on the bottom, just waiting, getting on the throttle. That way he doesn't spin those tires, doesn't lose the back end. You'll see kind of go up in the middle here, then cut back right there. Really good run, where a lot of guys are driving it deep down into the middle of the corner and trying to get a run off the top side. But when you're by yourself, it's really hard to do that and be fast. It's just better to roll these cars. Jonah puts Brandon Dimmer another lap down. You know, it's really hard to tell every week. And every car is different. A lot of guys kind of go between the truck, the Xfinity car, and the Cup car, and they all have little nuances. They all relatively drive the same, being a stock car on a racetrack, but they all have small nuances that make a difference on how you get the most speed out of it. The Cup car is, you know, a lot of tracks has a lot of downforce, a little bit less horsepower, so you can just drive it a little bit differently. It can be a lot harder on the throttle. You can really drive the car really, really hard and get and make a lot of speed, especially with all the downforce that it has, and it really doesn't wear the tires out. If it does, as we're under caution, it looks like Sean Pauley crashed. Go back and see what happened. Trying to get a run off the corner. You can already see he's already loose coming off the corner. Gets sideways, able to not hit the wall too hard, just kind of kissed it a little bit right at the NASCAR sign. That brings out caution again. Is almost everybody, if not everybody's going to come down pit road and get a set of tires. I'll be interested to know how many sets we have. Lee Dawson probably on his last set, but you know what? It doesn't seem to have hurt him too bad, because I would imagine this will be the last pit stop for most everybody with 25 laps to go. Caution comes out, a couple cautions, not going to be worth coming down, losing all that track position, but definitely not what Jonah Colbert wanted to see, as we only had 25 laps to go. He had a healthy 6.5 second lead. Was easily gonna run away with this one, but you know, a caution always seems to rear its head at the end of these races. Well, let's look and see what the field's going to look like as we are at our 6th caution. And we're definitely not at Talladega. But nonetheless, you'll see top spot, Jonah Colbert. 2nd place, John Honecker. Steve McDonald 3rd. Jason Raychalk sneaking up there into 4th place. James Danford is in 5th. Lee Dawson, our early part of the race leader, who's had just a little bit of trouble, is running 6th. Justin Diaz 7th. Kevin LePerrier 8th. That's all the cars on the lead lap. The lap down cars are the 18 of Alan Smith in 9th. Scott Sindel in 10th. It's 2 laps down, Brandon Dittmer and Sean Pauley. It looked like Sean Pauley, when he had that accident, went into pit road, and it looks like he lost another lap, so that's very unfortunate. Pace car comes off pit road as Jonah Colbert gets a nice start, gets a good jump, but John Honecker right there. Oh no, as Steve McDonald dives right into the corner, takes out. Oh, and a big wreck as they're piling in. Oh, and the pace car almost hits Steve McDonald as they're trying to get back going. Let's go back and see what happened there. Looks like Steve, just gets really hot into the corner and just cleans out John as they're fighting hard to get that track position. Go on the cockpit. Yeah, that's just a racing incident right there. You know, here at Scars, we really don't spend a whole lot of time blaming others and figuring out who's at fault. None of that crap really matters. Most of the time, it's just a combination of just hard racing. 20 laps to go. You know, Steve probably had been used to getting to that middle lane, and John was there, not willing to give that up, and Steve just get a little bit too hot. So it happens. It's part of racing. So, but tough break for both of those guys. They were fighting hard for 2nd place. But you know, I hate to be right, but sometimes you're just right. I think Jonah Colbert has had the fastest car this 2nd part. You know, maybe even after the first quarter of the race, he's been the fastest driver. But Jason Raychalk with a little bit of damage there, so I'm not sure how he got that damage, but finds himself in 2nd place. Last week's winner, and also the winner 2 weeks ago. Right up there at the front. So interesting to see what he has, if he has been holding back, if he's got anything left. His car's got a lot of damage on it, but he's not going to pit for it now. It's too late. We'll see what he's got to try to fight Jonah Colbert for this lead. Jonah obviously going to get a good restart here. Get a jump. Is he going to have enough to run him down and make a pass for the lead? So should be an entertaining finish. We still have Lee Dawson. After that wreck, that was 2 of the front runners. So they're going to be coming up through the field if they can on brand new tires. But Lee Dawson there, James Danford, ready to strike if something were to happen like that again. So we are coming to 1 to go, getting down to the nitty gritty. Gonna get going with about 15 laps to go. Jonah just really has to do what he's been doing, get a great restart, get a good jump on these guys, make Jason Raychalk fight with Lee Dawson, James Danford to hold on to that second place. If he can do that, get them to fight. Seems to have the fastest car able to, and the cleanest car at this point. As we get, he does. He gets a great restart. James Danford caught Raychalk sleeping a little bit on the restart. Danford not sleeping, was able to get under Raychalk. This is the worst thing for Jason is now he is on the outside having to fight back. James Danford gets a little bit loose. Doesn't. Raychalk not able to clear him as they get, they almost touched. Lee might have had to check up really, really hard, getting on the bottom backside of James Danford, but he's able to get up under him as they are fighting, trying to get track position. As Jonah Colbert's loving the hell out of this, as he is starting to pull away, already 6/10 away from Jason Raychalk, but Jason Raychalk's got that open track, and again, interesting to see these guys continuing to run this middle groove as Jonah has shown that the bottom is the fastest way around. Jonah running right there on the bottom. Every lap, 2/10 faster. Guys just not seeing it. And as we got battles all over the track, Lee Dawson sideways trying to get under James. As here comes John Honaker on those fresh tires, probably with a faster pair, coming up through the field, trying to make some gains. He's got a ways to go. 12 laps is not too long, but he's going to have to make quick work of these guys and make these passes clean and fast, or he is going to run out of time. Jason Raychalk, like I said, really surprised to see these guys run this middle lane as Jonah is running. Man, it is a bottleneck right back here as we are 3 wide going into turn 3 as Lee Dawson has to check up, locks up the brakes a little bit. James Danford gets sideways. Oh, no, it collects Lee Dawson, able to keep from spinning, but just a nightmare race for Lee Dawson. He's just struggled after that first pit stop. It's just unbelievable that one pit stop can make that big a difference and just put you behind so far, but he has just had a nightmare of a race ever since then. We stay green, no caution. As we start to look at lap times, I can tell you right now, unless somebody figures out something quick, Jonah Colbert is going to win this race. He is 2/10 faster than almost everybody on the track, even John Honaker on brand new tires. We'll see this time around if anybody is able to make any ground. Jason Raychalk just off pace a little bit. 10th faster Jonah Colbert was that last time. John Honaker 10th faster than running about the same time as our leader. So as we are coming to 7 laps to go, I want to highlight the difference in the line. I just want to see what they're doing differently. You see Jason got his right tires across that line. He is starting to go down to the bottom as we watch and see if he's, 6 laps to go is going to be a long, he is now right on the bottom. Starting to see what Jonah is doing and trying to replicate that, but and that last time, he's starting to gain a little bit on him. He was a little bit faster that time. Starting to see where that bottom is the place to be. He's done moved off of that middle lane, going right down the bottom. Has picked up quite a few tenths over his last few lap times, but running very similar to Jonah. It may be too little too late. Oh, and he gets loose going into the corner. Has to check up. John Honaker going to start to chase him down. As we got a good battle, and oh no, Justin Diaz gets loose. Oh, he tries to save it. Oh, and he hits the wall, and he is stopped on the infield. Is it going to bring out a caution? He is still stopped, trying to get out of. Oh, he's going to have to back out. There really needs to be a caution. Come on, racin. Wow, Justin Diaz does a what a sportsman. make a really good decision to just tow it. Um, Man, it's a really bummer for his race, but I want to give a shout out. That's a hell of a decision to not cause an accident, not cause a caution, especially not try to come out on the track and it cause an incident. So, um, great job by him as Jonah Colbert going down into turn 3 with a dominating performance in North Wilkesboro. He is going to win the North by North Wilkes 150. Congratulations, Jonah Colbert. What a great race. Dominated the second half of the race. Not surprising at all. Had the track figured out. Guys who were fast like Lee Dawson just run into some trouble. Jonah was able to keep his car clean, stay out front. Didn't really have to fight that much and was able to just take a very dominating performance and get that win. So he stops on the front stretch. Going to try to do a little bit of burnouts. But yeah, great race. A lot of drama, a lot of coming and going. Um, really excited to see how the next few weeks are going to go. But a very interesting race. Is definitely Jonah had this track figured out, and everybody else was just trying to run him down. He was the car to beat, and takes home the victory. So let's go ahead. Let's try to bring in our third place finisher, John Honecker, and let's try to talk to him. Hey, John, this is Eddie in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, Eddie, I got you.
Well, hey, man, congrats on third place. Um, you started in the back. You was able to make your way up to the front. It seems like the the ability to pass died really quickly on old tires, as you fought for Steve McDonald for a long time trying to get second place. Kind of talk me through that and how your race went.
Yeah, I mean, I made it up through a few people there early. We had a few early cautions there. We had a little bit of split strategy. I think some of the field pit on like lap 25 or so to get some fresh tires. I stayed out at that point. And then we had a long green flag run, and yeah, as the run went on, I mean, you probably saw it on the broadcast. Me and Steve were running pretty different lines. I was about as low as you could go, and he was running a groove up. Um, I finally got under him, and then I think he may have checked up a little bit because we were kind of uncertain where a car in front of us was going to be going, which kind of just let me complete that pass. And then we had a restart. We had a little bit of contact. I think kind of no harm, no foul. I have to go back and look at what actually happened there, but then I was able to make up some positions there on that last run there and kind of stay clear of some other incidents that looked like happened on the track.
Yeah, well, a good race. I mean, I think this track's a lot of fun, and it looked like it was tough to pass, but it looked like it was a lot of fun racing. So, congratulations on third place, man. That's awesome.
Appreciate it.
All right, well, that was our third place finisher. We'll bring up the race results, kind of show those on the screen as we talk to our second place finisher, Jason Raychalk. Hey, Jason, this is Eddie in the booth. You got me?
Yes, I do, Eddie. How you doing?
Man, doing great, dude. It was man, a lot of fun watching you. You seem to have your normal race where you just kind of wait in the weeds, and then towards the end you were there ready to strike. But it looked like Jonah had it figured out. Kind of talk me through the end there, or talk me through your whole race, and just kept tell me how it went.
Yeah, that ending, the really long green flag run when I was in fourth, I just started to lose the handle on the car as the track got hotter and hotter, and it just made the car a lot more slick, and it took me a while to figure out how to run the line, and I was just a lot slower than everyone else. So, and then at the end there, I happened to restart up at the front, and Jonah just drove away. He drove a really, really good race. He really figured out how to drive the track with the high temperatures. So, congrats to Jonah. It was a lot of fun though racing. It's definitely challenging.
Well, Man, another good finish for you though. I mean, gosh, you've won 2 in a row and didn't quite get the 3 in a row, but still won one in a second is pretty darn good. So you got to be feeling good going into the next few races. Are you pretty good at road courses? Are you excited for what we got coming up, like the Glen? Are you excited for those type of things? You think you're gonna be able to run up front and get a couple more wins?
I'm honestly not the best road course driver in a stock car, so uh, a top 10 with few incidents and no spins would be feel like a win for me at a road course. So we'll have to see how that goes in 2 weeks because I unfortunately won't be able to make the next one.
Gotcha. Well, man, congratulations, second place. Really good after that race. Like I said, running at one point you're running around towards 10th and come away with a second place, man. Congratulations. That's really awesome.
Thank you, Eddie. It was a lot of fun.
Well, all right, well, let's bring in our winner, Jonah Colbert. Let's see what he has to say about the race. Hey, Jonah, this is Eddie. You got me?
Hey, what's going on, Eddie?
Hey, man. Well, man, you had it figured out, dude. The bottom line, I was watching you, and you were just wearing it out on the bottom. Once you were able to get that lead, it was nobody was even close. Kind of walk me through your race. I mean, was it fun at all? You seemed like you was out on an island out there.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. It's wearing me out. A little sweaty, but yeah, I got behind Lee there early in the race, and it kind of affected the line I wanted to run because I didn't want him to think I was trying to dive bomb him or anything. But my whole goal was to drive it in kind of deep and diamond it and try to drive straight off as I could. And so I was trying to take it easy and not wash up the track into him. But once he pitted and everybody else stayed out, it kind of made it a lot easier for me there because I had clean air and didn't have to worry about running into anybody, and I could just run my race. I I didn't want to pit there early. I thought track position was too important, and I'd run a race here a few weeks ago, and tire wear was not a big deal. And I mean, tonight after 75 laps, I think my right front was like at 88%. So tire wear was pretty much nothing. It was just all about how hot you got the right front, and the line I was running, it seemed to keep the right front wear pretty low and cool, so it just worked. And lap times are pretty consistent, and just avoid the wrecks and make your way around the lap cars and hope they all wrecked each other behind me. And I think that's what ended up happening on one of those restarts. I didn't even see it. I heard a bunch of spinning and looked up and there was nobody there. So
Yeah, there's a good bit of contact, just people fighting for position, trying to get that track position. But yeah, I was watching you, and you were able to get that. You were running right on the bottom, driving deep in there, and staying low on the corner, especially on the corner exit. And where a lot of people were trying to run that middle line for some reason, and man, you were making up so much time off the corner. It was pretty fun to watch. So man, congratulations, dominating performance. Moving into the drop weeks, once they start taking effect, I think you'll be up towards the front. Are you excited for the next few races? I think we've got Homestead next week. Should be a lot of fun, and then I'm excited to see what you're gonna do at Watkins Glen. So are you feeling pretty good about your chances going forward?
yeah, the next few weeks are gonna be a lot of fun. I always run well at Homestead in most cars. I've not run much there in these cars, so I don't really know what to expect as far as the line goes. But I like the track a lot. And then Watkins Glen is always it's always a hard, tough race when you get on road courses. So looking forward to that one. And then you have the crapshoot at Daytona, and then forget where we close the season out at, but California, I think. But yeah, it'll be a fun finish to the season, man. We got a lot of good tracks, especially Homestead and Auto Club. Those two are going to be the best. I think we're going to see a lot of good racing.
Well, congratulations on the win, man. That was a dominating performance, and you definitely deserve that win. So, man, congratulations, and we'll see you later.
All right, thanks, man.
Well, all right, there you have it. The top three finishers: Jonah Colbert, Jason Raychott, John Honaker. Another good race. Um, a track that's really tough, a really technical short track, and you saw a lot of guys struggle with that, and a lot of guys, like Jonah Colbert, were able to figure it out, and were able to really put on a show and basically stomped the field for the the second part of that race. So um, really good race. Some tough nights for some folks. Justin Diaz, Brandon Dittmer, Lee Dawson. Lee Dawson comes home fifth. That's not the worst thing in the world. But he definitely probably wanted to be up front. Probably had the speed to be up there. Just after that first pit stop, it was after that first pit stop, he just kind of got in this weird limbo where it's just hard to get out of it. So not the finish he wanted, but we had some good finishes though for other folks that took advantage of some guys having some issues. Kevin LePerrier with a fourth place finish, which is, man, what an awesome finish for him. So it's 8th spot. He was the biggest mover of the race, finishing 4th there. So man, congratulations to him. That's a great finish. Top 5. Scott Sindel, who ended up backwards quite a few, 2 or 3 times, I believe, able to come home with a 6th place finish. So great job by him, man. Congratulations on these good finishes. Guys being there when it matters. Guys having issues and coming home with really, really good finishes. James Danford, just to kind of go through our field one more time. Jonah Colbert, Jason Raychalk, John Honecker, Kevin LePerrier, Lee Dawson, Scott Sindel, James Danford, Steve McDonald. After that incident, a tough deal. Finishes 8th. Sean Pauley finishes 9th. Alan Smith 10th. Gets another top 10 like he's been trying to get every week. Justin Diaz finished in 11th. Brandon Dittmer, definitely tough luck after incident, staying out on tires, and it comes home 12th. But still a good race, awesome finish, relatively clean. But great job by everybody. So, like I said, next week we'll move on to Homestead, which ought to put on a really good show, and then we go on to the Glen in 2 weeks. So hopefully we can get some folks that we're missing. We were missing Daniel Rose, Scott Tompkins, a few others that normally show up. If I missed your name, I'm sorry. But yeah, hopefully we get a few folks back towards the last half of the season. But still a great race. So thanks for anybody who was watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Anybody watching the recording after, hope you enjoyed as well. And y'all have a great night. And thanks for watching.
Welcome to the Scars Busch Series, presented by Ineptitude.